What if I told you that Downton Abbey might not be finished after all? That the so-called grand finale could actually be the beginning of something new? Because in a world where stories rarely end for good, Downton Abbey, the grand finale, feels less like a farewell and more like a quiet promise. It's marketed as the final chapter of a 15-year saga, yet it leaves behind threads too tempting not to follow. Closure, yes, but with doors left slightly open. And that's exactly what makes this film so fascinating. For longtime fans, the Crawley story has already ended more than once. First, with the TV series finale, and then with two beautifully crafted films that extended the family's legacy. Each ending brought its share of emotion, hope, and the comforting sense that life at Downton would carry on just as before. But the grand finale? It takes that feeling and turns it into something more powerful, a reflection on change, legacy, and renewal. On a personal level, Downton Abbey has never just been entertainment. For millions around the world, it's been a part of our lives. A family we revisited year after year, growing older alongside them, laughing and grieving as if they were real. Watching the Crawleys navigate love, loss, and the march of time has always felt like coming home. And that's why this film doesn't hit like an ending. It feels like a pause. A moment to breathe before another chapter begins. The story in the grand finale covers incredible ground. After 6 seasons and 2 prior films, the Crawleys have faced nearly everything: war, financial ruin, shifting social structures. And once again, those challenges return, testing the family's unity in an era on the edge of change. But this time, there's something different. The movie balances nostalgia with momentum, honoring the past while quietly paving the road to the future. Take Mary and Edith. Their rivalry once defined the series, 2 sisters bound by blood and torn by pride. But in the finale, that bitterness finally gives way to understanding. Edith steps in to protect Mary from scandal, and Mary in turn sacrifices for the sake of the family's stability. It's a reconciliation that fans have waited years to see, and it lands beautifully. But even as they find peace, new possibilities unfold. Mary, now single and in charge of Downton's future, faces the weight of leadership. Edith, empowered and respected, begins shaping society in her own right. Their bond feels less like closure and more like a doorway to stories still waiting to be told. And then comes Mary's divorce, because, let's face it, a Crawley story without scandal wouldn't be Downton Abbey. Her separation from Henry Talbot stirs gossip across the village, reminding us that even the most modern woman isn't free from society's judgment. But Mary doesn't crumble. She rises, stronger, sharper, and more self-assured. Supported by loyal friends like Isabel and gradually accepted by her community, she redefines what it means to lead in a changing world. That resilience? It's a spark of potential for the future. A divorced, independent Mary running Downton Abbey could open the door to countless new challenges, political, romantic, and personal. Downstairs, life evolves too. Carson finally steps away from service. Mrs. Patmore passes her kitchen torch to Daisy. Mosley, long the underdog, finds success as a writer. Each farewell feels earned, hopeful rather than sad. But there are also transitions that hint at fresh beginnings. Daisy's new authority, for instance, could shift the dynamic of the servants' hall entirely. And since Downton Abbey has always been a dance between the upstairs and downstairs worlds, there's endless room for those stories to grow. The most poignant theme of the finale, though, is change within the Crawley family itself. Robert finally accepts that his daughter Mary represents the future. His decision to step back isn't just symbolic, it's emotional. It's the passing of an era, yet that shift also introduces new tension. Mary's vision for modernization clashes with the traditional values her parents hold dear. The film lets this tension simmer without fully resolving it, setting the stage for what could become the central conflict of any continuation: the battle between progress and preservation. And then, the farewells. The film honors those we've lost, Matthew, Sybil, and the unforgettable Violet Crawley, through a haunting, dreamlike sequence. In that moment, time seems to stop. The past and present meet in one final dance, reminding us of the legacy these characters left behind. It's touching, it's heartbreaking, and it's quintessential Downton. But even in that goodbye, there's a spark of renewal. The absence of Violet, for instance, creates a power vacuum. Mary must now embody that leadership, learning to command respect without her grandmother's wit or authority. She'll stumble, make mistakes, and grow, and that struggle could form the emotional core of another story yet to come. Beyond the family, the world around Downton Abbey is shifting too. The finale ends in the 1930s, just before history takes a darker turn. The rise of fascism in Europe, the approach of World War II, and the decline of the British aristocracy all loom on the horizon. These global changes are more than background, they're opportunities for storytelling. How would the Crawleys face the next great upheaval? How would the servants adapt to a society where class boundaries are fading fast? These are the questions that keep the world of Downton Abbey alive, and that's why this finale doesn't feel final at all. Mary's leadership, Edith's influence, Barrow's newfound happiness, Bates and Anna's growing family, each storyline ends not with a full stop, but with an ellipsis. There's resolution, yes, but also anticipation. Life at Downton, as always, goes on. Another reason for optimism? The fans. Few series have inspired such lasting devotion. Every new movie brings audiences back, not just for nostalgia, but for connection. And the creators, Julian Fellows and Simon Curtis, seem to understand that deeply. The way this finale is written feels deliberate, emotional enough to satisfy, yet flexible enough to continue. It's clever storytelling, an ending that doubles as an invitation. Think of it this way. Saying goodbye to Downton Abbey feels like watching a loved one leave on a train. You wave, you smile through the tears, but you know, deep down, you'll see them again. Because this story, like life itself, never truly stops. So while the posters may call it the grand finale, fans know better. There are too many untold stories, too many open threads, too many hearts still invested. Whether it's love, power, or survival in a changing world, Downton Abbey still has so much more to give. And perhaps that's the true magic of it all. Every season, every film has balanced endings with beginnings, goodbyes with hope. The grand finale continues that tradition beautifully. It honors the past, celebrates the present, and whispers of the future. Maybe this isn't farewell. Maybe it's just a see you soon. Because for the Crawleys, and for all of us who've lived alongside them, there will always be another chapter waiting to be written.